This is KUGAN CASSIUS for iFull TV in association with MTK Global. Just after the press conference today took place here in Philadelphia. Now joined by a very relaxed Jono Carrol. I have to say, I was watching. Obviously, I was there at the press conference today, and you got up, and I was like, "Yes, that was a good speech from Jono. I like that." And Tevin got up, and it was like, "That was good." It was very civil, very like a determined, focused, ahead of fight night, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what clicks, but then for the next 10 minutes, it's just turned into like a bitter exchange and a lot of talking over one another, and yeah.
I don't know. I just think it was we were both pretty respectful at the start, and then Eddie knew exactly what he was doing. Eddie was like stirring the pot, you know what I mean? He knew exactly. He done it promote his job, and he done it well. So fair play to him. He asked a few little small questions, and once we start getting to speaking again, I think we were both on the mind frame of we'll speak respectful. If he starts talking rubbish, I'm gonna start talking rubbish. And it didn't take much for one person to say something and the other one to retaliate, you know what I mean? It was like, I don't even know how it started. I just remember one time he said something about saying a prayer. I was like, what you say? Looked back at him like, what you say? And he's like, you better say your prayers. I was like, here we go. Boom. It just erupted then after that. So, yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Talking's nearly over. I mean, this is just such a huge opportunity for you to on pretty much the biggest scene out here in America.
Yeah.
And listening to Eddie Hearn talk about kind of that first Gary fight, which I can't still believe it was a 4-rounder. It's mad to even think, but that kind of progression from there, it was a while ago that to what you've done in your career to kind of get yourself to this point. And yeah, it's your shot this Friday night in Philadelphia against someone who's not been kind of given it easy in Tevin Farmer. He lost 4 out of his first 12 fights.
Yeah.
He's kind of had to do it the hard way, and he's kind of having his moment now. But that makes no difference to you. You're out to make sure you leave with that belt.
Of course, 100%. You just hit the nail on the head. He's had it hard. He got here the tough way, but at the same time, I didn't have it too easy myself. I've took every single opportunity that came my way, whether it was on 2 weeks' notice or 3 weeks' notice. I always came in shape. I was always ready. I stayed ready, just like a professional should. And I'm at the dedicating like a lot of years to this sport. Like since that first Declan Garrity fight, like I really wasn't taking boxing serious. Even after Prize fight, I wasn't taking boxing serious. And then I was kind of more or less. I was like, you know what? I can actually make a career out of this, and I can do something here. So instead of just going and still, I was continuing looking after the fight, after even the Prize fight. I was looking for jobs and all. To like, I wasn't sure whether I wanted to box or not. And then once I decided, listen, boxing is where I want to be at, it was all or nothing for me. Because my dad used to always say to me, if you're not going to be the best, then don't bother. You know what I mean? So if I wasn't going to put me 110% into this, in the back of my mind, it was like, why am I even wasting my time here? So once I decided, yeah, listen, this is what I want to do, I dedicated everything to it. So I'm doing everything in my power to be the best boxer I can possibly be. Inside and outside of the ring, not just as a fighter and training and all that. Like I'm trying to help kids and trying to text kids back and give them a bit of advice. Anyone's asking me for anything, I'm always trying to give back, because that's very important also. But that's one thing that I think a champion should do. If you were to get into a certain point in your career, and kids or anyone for that matter is asking for advice, you should be giving that advice. You should be helping people out. I think that's very important. And I just can't see Tevin being that type of person. So I just think I'm a much better person to hold that belt and represent that name, world champion. I take that with pride, that way. It's like, it's not just I'm a world champion, but I will help a lot of people. If I get that opportunity, I have this opportunity now to become world champion, but I snatch that belt off him. There's going to be so many people I can help and give back. Everything that comes with being a world champion. Like, it's a big responsibility, but I'm willing to take that on my shoulders and help and give back to the people, I just don't see Tevin Farmer being that type of person. So that's why I'm like, I don't really like him as a person. Like, I know it's entertainment business, people want to see a little bit of beef up there, but I genuinely don't really like him as a person, So it's real. I genuinely, I get into a mindset where I want to smash his head in. You know what I mean? When I get into this to this ring on Friday night, like, I'm going to smash his head in. And there's nothing that can stop me. You know, like Tevin Farmer, he's just a man with 2 arms and 2 legs. Yeah, he's a skillful boxer. We know he done it the hard way. And that's what makes this so much more special to me. The fact that he's a tough opponent for me. It's like he's had to defend this belt a couple of times. But like I said in the press conference, it's a mountain that I'm willing to climb. I know I'm going to get hit in this fight. He's going to get hit in this fight. I know both of us are probably going to get hurt at times in this fight. But I don't care. I'm willing to walk through fire to get what I want.
I know you can take criticism.
Of course.
In your own kind of way.
I usually bite back pretty quick, but I do take it on the chin.
I know you can take it. So, you know, I get this kind of negativity out of the way, if you like. So there's people out there that believe that you were fortunate in the Frenois fight,
of course,
to get a draw.
People are entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, and there's people out there that don't believe that that performance kind of warranted the shot with Farmer. Now that's not your fault because, you know, if you were kind of the consensus was that you beat Frenois and you would have got your shot off Farmer, but that didn't happen. But you were given the shot anyway. So how do you kind of respond to that?
I don't really care about all that sort of stuff because, like I said in the press conference earlier, it was a wake-up call for me, that last fight. You know, I done a lot of things wrong. Like, my weight was really, really bad. Like, I cut like nearly 5 kilo, like, in the space of a day and a half. You know what I mean? Stupid little things like that. I wasn't doing things correct, and I think I just got into a bit of I overlooked Frenois a little bit. And not overlooked him because I looked at him and I said, you know what, I can beat him. But I knew I had to be on my game because of his experience, but at the same time, when I looked at him and watched video footage and that, I was like, I'm going to smash him up. Even in training, like I didn't pay for really good sparring partners. You know, I was lackadaisy. There was 1 or 2 times I was meant to do an 8-rounder and Albert pulled me out after 6 and said, no, get out. You're getting hit with too many shots. No, get out. But I've had to having a few cuts from that, and I was wearing this big stupid head guard, and there was loads of little things. Like, I could hardly see with this head guard. I was just getting pinged and getting hit really easy with the thing on. And I was just thinking, when I have this head guard off, it'll be different. You know what I mean? But then there were so many things that I was doing wrong, and I picked up bad mistakes, bad habits in the ring sparring, that it kind of rolled over into the fight, and I was doing them bad mistakes in the fight. But I'm happy that Frenois fight happened. People can look at it as a negative or a positive. I look at it as a positive because it's given me a wake-up call. So we went back to the drawing boards and was like, right, what did we do wrong? Not just me, but Albert. And like certain things that he was telling me even in the corner, I was like, you can't tell me lefts and rights. Like, because when you're telling me left and right and I'm in the 9th round and I'm bollocks, like, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know what my left and right is. I don't know what his left and right is. I have to do that opposite. Like, I was like, when I'm exhausted, I need to know slip his backhand, and, you know, because that was, as a kid, my dad used to, like, train me as in, like, double jab, backhand. Everything was, like, jab, backhand. So I never learned that left, right, slip this. You know what I mean? Obviously, I know me left and rights, but when you're exhausted, it's different thinking what's his left, right, left, and what's my left. And you know all this, if you're fighting a southpaw, if it's this side or that side. So there was loads of things. It wasn't just me had to go back to the drawing boards. Me and Albert went back and I said, listen, you need to tell me this. And even when it was happening in sparring, I was like, he was like left, right, or whatever. I was like, jab hand, slip his jab hand, slip his backhand. You know, loads of times I said things like that. So both of us done that, but also we were doing a lot of running in the last camp this time. We done a lot of strength and conditioning, but not like we were doing a lot of heavyweight strength and conditioning last time. This time it was all like on the ball, like a medicine ball and explosive work. We changed up the whole game this time, you know. So I found it benefited me so much because the last camp, when I was getting into sparring, I was exhausted. My legs were tired from doing the runs the night before or whatever. This time I was fresh going into sparring every time. So it's by far the best. Like, it was expensive, but it was by far the best camp that I've ever had, because I had to pay for really good American sparring partners to come over, pay for my lad to come over from England. Like, it was, I made sure I went above and beyond this camp, and I just put everything into it. And I moved down my house. I made sure I dedicated everything to this fight. You know what I mean? It was like the last time I was still at home with the baby in the house with Gemma. You know what I mean? It was like, it's difficult when they're eating rubbish. You kind of give us a little bit of this, give us a little bit of that, you know. And whereas when I was in this house on my own, I was eating. I only had good stuff in the fridge. You know, there was no distractions this time whatsoever. So I don't look at that Frenois as a negative whatsoever. I look at it as a positive. And I just think everything that happens in life happens for a reason, and it happens at a certain time for a reason. And I just think that happened to me at the perfect time, because after the second Garrity win, I felt like I was just going to be able to blast people out, I think, and believing in my own hype almost, because I'd done such a good job with Declan. But it was because I was so hungry for that fight. I'd done everything what I'd done in this camp. I was really hungry and I worked really hard, dedicated everything to the camp, and I performed great that night. But at the same time, like, this is going to be a different me, because it's for a world title. I can't just use my physical strength and roll over people like I thought I probably could. At world level, you need to start using your brain. And this camp, in sparring, I was like thinking a lot more, you know, not getting frustrated when I was getting hit with a shot, like, oh, I need to get that shot back, and then falling into another stupid one. I'm a lot more calm and collected, because I know what I have to do in this fight. I know I can't lose my temper. I know I can't lose my head. And it needs to be a cool, calm, collected, vicious assault. When I'm in there, I need to rip them apart, and then when I'm on the outside, I need to be calm. I need to be relaxed, and I need to be slipping and using my brains more so than just me brawn. Like, when I got tough in that last fight, I just started coming forward, and I was like, put my hands down. I was like, come on, you know, I can't be doing that stuff anymore. I won't be doing that. You'll see a lot smarter me this fight. I promise that for sure.
Do you think that Farmer's underestimating you going into this fight?
See, he, in the back of his head, I don't think he thinks he underestimates me, but I was saying to everyone was saying, don't overlook this French fella, he's very experienced. And I was saying, I'm not overlooking him. But then when the fight came, I wouldn't have said I overlooked him, because I genuinely believed that I didn't overlook him. I did think he was dangerous, but I just thought it was going to be different when he was in there against me. That's what I was thinking. And I know that's what Farmer's thinking. I'm going to smash him up. When he's against me, it's going to be different. But
you believe he's got the mentality,
that I had
for the
in the
Frenoir
fight.
That makes sense.
You know, like,
to say that.
Yeah, I think in the back of his head he doesn't think he's underestimating me, because I didn't think I was underestimating him. But after that draw, that made me a lot more hungry. That, I don't know, it was just like a bee sting and woke me up, you know, and it happened at the perfect time, because now I'm fighting for the world title. So you can say about negativity, no one cares about your last performance. They only care about the performance that you just haven't. So if I come and win this fight, no one cares about that draw. You know what I mean? That draw is out the window. You just care that I'm now a world champion. You know?
Well, I mean, I know, like I said, I don't know how much of kind of boxing talk in the lead up to a fight you kind of take notice of, but when you hear kind of Hearn talking about, you know, wanting to make Farmer and Gervonta Davis, and, you know, almost talking sometimes, I've seen some quotes of Eddie Hearn, and Farmer's kind of, yes, he signed to Matchroom USA, so we can kind of see you're under Matchroom as well, but it seems to be that, I don't know, he's talking about Farmer's fight with whoever, Gervonta Davis, kind of ahead of anything else. What does that play on your mind at all? Or?
Not at all. Listen, Eddie's a businessman. At the end of the day, it makes sense. If Farmer beats me, he goes on to fight Gervonta Davis or whatever's going to make Eddie the most money, Eddie's interested in. It's simple as that. You know what I mean? So Eddie, for him, he needs to be doing this, and he needs to be looking at the future. Same way, if I win this fight, Eddie's going to be looking at different routes, what routes I need to go down. You know, he's going to be looking at, like, me topping bills in Ireland and stuff like that now. So there's loads of ways. I'm sure Eddie has spoke with the team and was saying, wait, if he wins, we'll do this, and if he wins, he'll do that. And it's just like when someone asks him a question or it's put out there, he's going to answer the question. So I don't take any notice of that, because he's a businessman. So a businessman always tries to stay one step ahead of the game. So for me, like, that is what it is. But I couldn't care less about any of that, because Eddie's not in the ring with him. You know what I mean? It's going to be me and him in the ring. And I just think if I get my game plan down to a T, there would be no disputing who won this fight. I could easily stop him. I'm not saying I'm going to stop him, because I'm preparing myself for 12 horrible fucking rounds. You know what I mean? Of torture and war. But at the same time, I can see him breaking as well in my head. So, but if not, I can see me hurting him a lot of times in this fight. So I don't think it's going to be really down to a really close decision. Obviously, if it's a close decision, they're going to give it to him. He's in his fucking hometown and he's fighting for his belt. It's his belt, you know what I mean? They usually give it to the champion when it's close. So I'm not looking to make this a close fight. I'm looking at Hearn Farmer. I want to see him wincing with shots. I want to watch him go down. I want to see the pain on his face. I want to see things like that. You know what I mean? I'm prepared for me to get hurt the exact same as that. To get go down, get back up, get down, go back up, and knock him spark out. I'm prepared to go through anything what it takes to take this belt off him. So it doesn't matter if Eddie's looking for the future fights or whatnot. He has to do that. That's his job. But it's only going to be me and Farmer in that square circle, and that's all that matters to me.
You spoke about, not just today, but in the past, about how influential MTK have been in kind of, kind of guiding you to where you are, and kind of where you were a couple of years ago, even just all the way kind of through your career. But since you kind of have been with them, how influential they've been.
They probably saved my career. There was times where I was ready to walk away from the sport. I'm not even ready to walk away from the sport because I loved boxing. I loved competing. I loved being in the ring, but I was never getting fights. I was never getting looked after. I was getting told, you're going to be on this fight, and then it'd come like the week before the fight, and then the fight would fall through for me, things like that. It's just heartbreaking when you're out there dedicating everything, going through like an 8-week camp or whatever, dieting and being on weight, and then the week before the fight getting told, oh no, it's not happening for you, So that happened one time. I was meant to fight. Well, I don't know if I was even meant to fight or not, but I was getting told I was fighting on the Patrick Hoyland belt when he fought Gary Russell. So I was trying for that, I was thinking, I'm going to make my American debut, it's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. And then literally a week before the fight, it fell through. So like things like that, it was just like, what's the point? Like, do I even want to do this? Like, I'm constantly getting let down. I'm constantly like the second thought, like last minute, oh, we need someone to fill in here, get him. You know what I mean? I just wasn't getting looked after at the time. When MTK came along, it was like they put me first. It was a team effort. They told me, listen, we'll get you this fight on this date, but we'll guarantee it this fight and this fight, like in quick, one after another. And I was like, okay, great. So I was just hoping it was gonna be like that, and fingers crossed, it was. You know what I mean? I took a chance. I went with them, and every single thing that he told me from day one happened. That way it was like, all of a sudden I had massive confidence in them because there was no lying, there was no beating around the bush, there was no like, oh, you might be on this or you might be on that, but don't tell your family, don't make them book flights yet. That kind of way. It was like, listen, you're on this, you have a 10-week camp, or you have an 8-week camp. Before I joined my MTK, I never ever in my whole career had an 8-week camp or a 10-week camp. Only when I joined my MTK, I actually had that bit of notice. You know what I mean? Like, and then they got me the Johnny Quigley fight, which was perfect time in my career, I find. Which I think this is the perfect time in my career now for a world title. So they've guided me in the right direction every single time. And that's when people say, like, would you fight this and would you fight that? I'm like, listen, I will fight anyone my team want me to fight. I don't second guess who my team want me to fight. Because that's their job. My job is to get in the ring and perform and be ready. If they give me 10 weeks notice or 8 weeks notice, I'll fight anyone, any place, any time. They know what I'm capable of doing. And they know the hard work that I'm putting into it. So it's two-way traffic. Yeah, they got me certain opportunities, but I was ready when them opportunities came. I made sure I worked unbelievably hard, and I was ready and prepared to do what it took to take them opportunities then. Because like you can give, what's the old saying? You can bring water to take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. It's exactly like that. You know what I mean? If you don't want this boxing game, forget about it. I wanted this game, but at the same time, I was sick of getting messed around and all that. And then the minute MTK come on, it just gave me a new fire in my belly. It made me want to train because they were working on really hard on one side. It made me want to work hard on the other and make them proud of me. So it's been the best move of my career by far.
This fight on Friday really just will open up a completely new chapter in your life, new doors, and just be amazing. Big night for you on Friday.
100%. This is what my career has kind of almost came down to. You know what I mean? This is the pinnacle of the sport. It's a world title. You can't forget that. Like, this is going up against a defending world champion. So I'm not overlooking for him. I cannot overlook for him. He's defending world champion. There's nothing I can say, oh, he does this bad or he does that bad. Because what he does good, he does really good. So I have to be on my game. I need to be firing from all cylinders. And I believe with the camp that I had, I will be firing from all cylinders. And I'm prepared to take his belt. I'm ready to take his belt. I'm ready to be a superstar. I'm ready to be a world champion. And I believe taking his belt in his hometown, that's what will make me.
How much of the beard have you got to trim?
Don't know, he never said, but I don't care. Like I said before, it's just a beard, man. These fuckers talking like, it's going to make any difference. Mate, I will shave my eyebrows, my head, everything, you know what I mean? I'll shave my legs if they want me to shave my legs. The world title fight, hair grows back. That means nothing to me. I shaved my beard this morning and I shaved it yesterday. I trimmed it. So, look at the length of the thing. Could use a good trimming, so I'm more than happy to trim it up. I could care less. He's just jealous because he can't grow it.
All right, well, listen, I appreciate your time.
My pleasure, brother, anytime.
Got the weigh-in tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
It's weird, this fight night's usually on a Saturday, so
Yeah.
we're looking...
Strange, even making weight.
It always is strange when a fight night like this is on a Friday.
Yeah, I have never actually fought on a Friday night. Like, it's different because you're usually used to certain days of the week. Like, oh, I cut this or I do this on that day, you know. So everything was a bit strange this week. But I'm really comfortable on the weight. Like last time, I was extremely overweight, and I wasn't like fat or anything like that. It was just like I was coming into it heavy, and I ended up being sluggish, and then went to stupid Nando's after it. That's how like. I was just taking it easy. I mean, like, I get a Nando's to be grand. You know what I mean? Like, ridiculous. Like, filling up back nutrition is like one of the most important things in boxing. I tell you, I didn't have a Nando's when I fought Deco. I was just overlooking that last fella. This time, I guarantee it, my field is spot on this time. I've done every single thing correct, and I'll be refueling after this. And I'll come in big and strong, but with the right engine, the right fuel in the engine. You know what I mean? Last time, I don't know what I was thinking, but it woke me up, and we're ready this time.
Just finally, you believe you'll knock Farmer out?
It's not that I believe I will knock Farmer out. I just think that's definitely a possibility. My game plan is not like big, heavy shots to the head or to the body. I think my game plan is to beat him down, hurt him, and break him up. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to hurt him a lot of times. I'm going to hurt him in the fight. I'm not saying like with one big huge shot I'm going to rock him to the head around. I just think slowly but surely I've seen him being broke before. All I can guarantee, well not guarantee because nothing's guaranteed in this life, but in my mind I'm coming home with that belt. I'm focused on winning. I'm focused on taking that belt. But I definitely believe with my game plan I can hurt him enough to stop him. Definitely, 100%. And if I stop him, I don't think it'd be to the head, it'd be to the body. Because Farmer has been tested. Like, he's got good, easy pickings, I think, to get him to this level. The people that bet him, they've been beaten before. He's just like, when he gets really tested, I think he folds a little bit. Now, obviously, he hasn't lost in whatever it is, 7 years or something like that. So maybe he's a different man now, but I've seen him quit before, and I'm willing to see him quit again on Friday night. I'm prepared to watch him quit. I want to watch him quit, you know what I mean? But he's getting everything. I don't think he knows what type of fire I'm bringing to this fight and energy that I'm bringing to this fight. You know, I'm so headstrong. I do not believe that he has mentally what I have. Maybe physically and stuff like that, but we're only men, you know what I mean? Mentally, I just believe I'm head and shoulders above him. I just think I'm going to be so much more stronger mentally, and I will go through a lot more than what he's willing to go through. Like you say, you don't jog in silk pajamas. I'm hungry, you know what I mean? He has the money, he has the fat bank account, he has all these nice things. I want those things. I don't care about a fancy watch and all. I just want to secure my family's future forever. I want to never have to work another day in my life so I can enjoy time spent at home with my kids and my missus, you know what I mean? That's what I'm doing this for. But I just think if I win this, that puts me on that path. And it puts me on that path at a great age. I'm only 26. I have a lot of years left in boxing, you know? But if I win this world title now, I'm only starting to hit my peak. I don't even think I hit my peak until I'm probably 28. And I'm still learning so much, you know? So I just think this is the perfect time for me to take this belt.
Jono Carrol, wish you the best of luck on Friday night.
Thanks, brother.
We'll see you at the weigh-in.
Indeed.
Tomorrow, and then Friday night here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, mate.
It's on.
Wait. It's on. I can't wait. It's on like Donkey Kong. I cannot wait.
Top man.
Appreciate it.
We'll catch up with you again.
Thanks for coming over, bro.